Hello and welcome back. I'm Arumba. Thank you for joining me. Let's play some more of our short, possibly long, we'll see, campaign in Interstellar Transportation Company. Welcome back to Pancake Logistics Incorporated. So, I think in the Sol system on Earth, you notice that the AI have purchased more than one gate. They have 3 gates each. Blue has 3, red has 3, yellow has 3. I still have just the 1. I think I'll go to 2. It's another 36,000 ducats to buy, and then 1,300 per month. We are occasionally getting some alerts saying that there is no gate available for our ships to land. They just wait, basically, until the 1 gate is open. Since that's happening kind of frequently, we'll add an extra and go from there. Solus has built a small maintenance shed on Luna. Research-wise, we are at 528 points. Class B1 certification is what gets us the bigger ships, the Doing 919 and the Spacebus D500. We build a large office at 700. Thruster efficiency, minus 3% increase. Pretty sure minus increase is an oxymoron. You're either increasing it by +3 or you're decreasing it by -3. I don't understand that, but increase the speed of all ships inside a star system by 3%. Because technically that could allow you to arrive before your competitors, maybe. Here comes the D909. It's slow route back with nothing in it. Hey, Pancake, stop playing with that cable. Stop it. No. Hey, get off the table. You're not going to be allowed up here if you're going to keep playing with my cables. That's a mouse cable. It's important. Stop it. A subsidy of 58.68 per unit is being offered for machinery delivered to Mars. Hey, I said stop doing it. Now you're doing it more. You're going to get in trouble, cat. Our ship does bring some machinery out, but it's kind of like a mixed thing. We could just do some rockets delivering machinery. Since they're subsidizing it so much, I think that we'll set up... I guess I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to set up a second route, because I don't think you can control one specific type of rocket to be reordered and not others. I think that if I toggle this option, it'll reorder all rockets. So if I order like a colony rocket ship, then they will just keep on sending them like that problem. So we'll do a new route from Earth to Mars. And on this one, which has no ships, we will toggle reordering enabled. This is such a small change. Come on, this interface. It's dark. It's slightly less dark. Like, how about a green checkbox or like a not so barely able to be told interface? Come on. Whatever. Sparrow rocket, and we're just going to send machinery. And so this is on reorder. I guess you could use the ignore reorder button for the one-time colony ships, colony rockets, but I'm okay with having multiple routes for this. So we're going to launch out rockets full of machinery, starting at Earth, delivering to Mars, and let's get like just like 2 of them for now. As long as that subsidy's going, potential profit is pretty high, about 2,500 for a rocket, and they cost 935. I think 935 includes the price of fuel. The other ships, you have information here. They've got fuel costs. And that's probably part of the reason why you're not supposed to maybe use real ships to Mars this early. We're paying fuel costs on the D9 003. Of course, fuel costs don't actually seem that high, and it did make a profit. Maybe long-term I'll end up coming out ahead of the competitors based on that. Speaking of which, if we want to, we can go to the View Graphs and Reports screen, and we can see overall report and compare ourselves to our competitors. Overall profits is at negative for everyone, because we're all building stuff. Income is the highest for Warpfare in the last 30 days. The last 5 years... Can't actually click last 5 years yet, because it hasn't been 5 years. Current company net worth, we started off with like less money overall than the competitor AI, so it's kind of to be expected. So those are the 2 machinery rockets. I'm assuming that the AI is also going to take advantage of the subsidy. If it's just 2, I'm going to queue up a few extra. Cat, I swear, hey, I love you so much, but this new game of yours of playing with my mouse cable is not acceptable. You need to stop. There are plenty of other toys for you that are not my mouse. Stop it. Of course, he probably thinks that that means that I want him to do it more because I'm actually paying attention to his misbehavior, naturally. No gate available on Luna. Now he is biting that audio interface, which is not loud either. Cat. All right, so no gate available on Earth, no gate available on Luna. The issue, I think, is that we have 3 of these ships that are working with the Earth-Luna route. And they take 5 days to load, and they don't take very long to go back and forth. So I think maybe I need possibly a second gate on Luna. Yeah, as expected, the competitors have 4 gates each, and I'm still just using 1. They seem to really like having extra gates for some reason. I think it is theoretically possible to like buy out your competitors, although I don't know, it's when I can click on like their gate and then it still asks me if I want to lease their gate. It's no different price than the ones that are not being used. Perhaps if it was full, then it would tell me I can't do it. I don't really know. Alright, let's filter by ship type. Let's not look at Sparrow rockets for a sec. We now have 4 of the D909s. Profit 29,000, profit 15,000. The Earth-Mars D909 is only making 5 grand. So they'll have to do like at least 6 hauls before it actually pays for itself. When you factor in the extra gate expense, the maintenance, and all that other stuff, it's probably not a good idea. The best route is still that food and rare resources route. But I know from experience the problem is that now there are no rare resources available. We've tapped the production capacity for Luna. So that route's going to start to becoming less profitable because apparently they actually want some consumer goods on the moon. Not much, but some. And they still have a desire for some medicine, and there's actually enough that maybe we should do a rocket. Let's rocket some medicine to the moon. Earth Luna Direct, deliver to Earth. Medicine. I feel like the default setting for a rocket when you go here should just be on empty. You shouldn't have to manually make it empty every time. So consumer goods, medicines, and luxuries. They want consumer goods, but I don't really want them to take consumer goods. Alright, we'll order 1 rocket of that, and I guess on the Earth Luna Direct route, we will play with some of this stuff. So I'm going to tell them specifically that I don't want to take consumer goods. I'll say pick up none for now, so that that rocket will hopefully only take medicine. And hey, we can see our first colonization ship. It's on its way to Ganymede. So we are heading out to the moons of Jupiter. Subsidies are being offered for machinery now to be delivered to Luna. Luna is paying far less per machine than Mars, but it's so much closer. Kind of compelling. A little concerned about the food route to Luna. Luna is basically not paying for food anymore. They're already down to 31.37. So if we go to Luna, we can look at their supply. They're already nearly met on supply. And again, now I know we're only in the 3rd episode, but this is another one of my minor complaints about the game is that the default setting for new routes is to don't wait. Set all cargo pickup rules for this stop. So it'll just automatically, it's defaulted to don't wait and defaulted to deliver all. I feel like this is a noob trap because if I just let this keep running for months and months on a higher speed, for example, then we're going to keep on delivering food at no profit. We're going to be running our ships, deteriorating them, paying for fuel, not making any money, just giving them food that they don't want. And then bringing home no rare resources because they're out. There are other options like, say, wait for full load, or deliver and store, deliver and hold. There's a difference between delivering it directly and putting it in your corporate hangar, which is where now it's still owned by you, not owned by the colony. I feel like the defaults should be set to something other than just screw your company over. So, the route that has the rare resources, I wonder. This says up to 131.8 of raw stuff per week, up to 26 per week, twice. So 52 per week. And then their actual production is 21.16. And that's probably modified by development level, I would assume. See if I can figure the math out on this. We've got 52. If development's at 13.6, I would say then maybe 7 per week times 4 weeks in a month is 28.3. So how are we at 21.16? I don't know. I have no idea. Doesn't make sense to me. I also don't know exactly how long the route takes. That's another thing I haven't really been able to figure out. If you look at like the Earth-Luna Direct, we can see its fuel costs. But it's not showing me how quick the turnaround on it is. I can see like its cargo usage. I can see if it's full, empty, half. I can't see if it is actually... Is it a one-day thing? Are we spending 1 day going to the moon, or are we spending... I mean, it's the moon. It's not very far, right? So it's probably pretty quick. We spend 5 days loading, 5 days unloading, 1 day en route. That's different than 5 days loading, 5 days unloading, and 10 days to the moon, right? How much time are you actually spending en route? And there's no way that I've been able to find to determine that exact date, aside from just watching when it arrives. Earth still has a supply of machinery. I suppose one thing we could do just to save some money is, since it looks like we are out of the rare resources and there isn't a need for food on the moon right now, I could just disable that ship. Rather than retrofit it for a different purpose, rather than do anything else, we could just basically not scuttle it, but mothball it, essentially. So I could find that ship. It is currently on Earth loading up more food. We could just say, stop. And that's it. Just let it sit. The cost to repurpose it is kind of significant. If we were to change the ship's cargo bays, it's 6,000 ducats. Question is, how quickly can we make that back if we switched off of just this? Let's think for a sec. There's 2,062 raw materials available, and Earth is still paying 141.7 for it. 171 modified. So basically, how many hulls of raw materials is that? 2062 divided by 20. It's about 103 runs. If each run is making... gotta look back at Earth again. Each run makes 172 times 20 units in it, 3,500. Well, there's theoretically, if we moved every single unit and the prices didn't change, about 350 grand worth of stuff to be brought from the moon. Might make sense to retrofit and just have it go back to raw materials hauling. Yeah, I think that's probably better than having it just sit doing nothing. Apparently it decided that when I looked at it to stop being stopped. We'll change it to another dedicated guy like this. Refit cargo bays, 6 grand. Now, the colony ship that's heading out to Ganymede, we know that it's going to be similar to Mars and the Moon. It's going to want... Oh, that's Mercury, not colonized. But it's showing that there is population for some reason? Or no, it's just... I'm just wrong. Anyway, it's going to want the same type of stuff that Mars does, like food, water, and other things. So we should probably get ready to establish a route there. That'd be another good reason to consider sending... maybe not having retrofitted that ship. I could have actually just switched it to a different route. But it wouldn't work very well because that route only worked because the Moon makes the raw materials. Or the rare materials. Warpfare has built a small office on Luna. Reputation-wise, we're at 80.06 compared to the other competitors at 81.7 and 82. I'm guessing that they all have built that office on the Moon, try to get their reputation up, get a better fare rate. Seven more colonists want to head to Mars. Okay, we're at 916 research. Kind of want to stockpile some cash so we can theoretically build one of the bigger ships once we get that first research. You can also see how the competitors are doing on research. We're only behind by a couple days. Not really a big deal. And that's bad. See that 0.00? That means that a ship just arrived carrying something that is wrong. Which ship was it? You're on Earth, you're on Luna. So my guess is that was probably our water hauler. No, it's not the water hauler. Oh, my mistake, never mind. The Zero Ducats wasn't bad, it's because it didn't have any cargo to deliver on its way from Earth to the Moon. It doesn't make any money on that leg of the journey. But it can be an indicator that something's wrong. On the way back is when we're making that money. What are our competitors hauling? That is a water hauler that is empty. We can see here, this guy's got a... apparently this is a colony ship, and he's just going back and forth with colonists. Interesting concept. So he's built one of his D909s into a person hauler, and he's just having it go back and forth. Interesting to see if maybe that makes money for him. I'm assuming that the expense to go back and forth is not very high. This guy is doing the same thing, but it's empty. Origin Luna, destination Earth. Alright, actually, that's on the route home. I guess perhaps I should consider doing one of those. Let's think for a sec. What else could we do? I'm wondering if that route to Mars with my D909 should be redone. Where is that ship? D909. Lifetime profit for the D909 003 Earth-Mars Direct is some. It's not really paying for itself, but it's... yeah, it's probably not worth continuing to do. So I think on its route home, once it arrives on Mars, I'm going to refit it. Also, one thing I want to change is on the Earth-Mars route with the two ships. We have two stops, two ships assigned, and these are the guys that are just launching machinery at it. Eventually, this is another problem with the default settings, eventually Earth's going to run out of its surplus of machinery, and when that happens, this is not going to stop the rockets from just getting launched, right? So we've got to be careful about that. Let's do Earth Mars Direct, a one-time calling ship. So on the Earth Mars Direct, I'm going to rename one of these routes. This is the one with the auto resupply, so this is the one I want to edit. We've got don't wait as the default. Let's say wait for full load across the board. And I feel like a better default setting than just deliver all is, let's see, deliver and store. Ships will deliver all cargo until the planet's demand is satisfied, then it will store the rest of the cargo in your company's hangar for your sole use. This is useful for supply distribution hubs or for creating a warehousing planet as a middle point on a long journey. I feel like Mars is a good place to do that, so we'll have it store if we accidentally get too much machinery there, which I doubt will happen. And that all being said, I'm going to take a short break here. Let me know what your thoughts are. I hope that you guys are enjoying the campaign so far, and I'll see you again in the next episode. See you soon.